Hi, everybody, and welcome to Chattin Celtics this evening. It was not a good game tonight at all for the Celtics at the Garden versus the Cavaliers. I am Nick. We have Brendan also here. I don't know how, I don't know why you're wearing your green after that disgraceful performance tonight from the Celtics, but we're here to talk about it. I want to welcome you in. Why can't
Nick,
Boston teams win game twos in the playoffs? Why can't they do it?
honestly, Nick,
That's my $1 million question right now.
Yeah, I think tonight you were going to get your best effort out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, they just went through a 7-game series. They just lost game 1 by 20 points, and they have game 2 in the Garden. They can't go down 0-2 and dig another hole. You're going to get their best effort. Donovan Mitchell gives you 29 and a beautiful three-pointer at the buzzer at the end of the third quarter. But honestly, the Celtics came out a little lackadaisical, I'd say. You know, playing with their food, falling asleep a little bit. They shot 21%, or maybe it was 23. It was 23% as a team from deep, out of over 30 plus shots. Not gonna win your game, that's for sure. Tatum had 23 tonight. Brown, I think, was 21. White had 10. They didn't shoot the ball well, not at all, and that'll cost you tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, the threes were not flying tonight for the Celtics whatsoever. I felt the only player that was doing a half-decent job here this evening was Peyton Pritchard. Everybody else, for the most part, did not have a very good game. Yes, if you look at the box score with Tatum with the 25 points, should we be concerned with Jason Tatum right now?
Look, this was a game that you would expect him to take over. He was lackadaisical, that's for sure. He gets 21 in his sleep, but I think if there was a game when he had to take over because his supporting cast didn't have it, it was tonight. Brown wasn't shooting it well. Holiday has been in a little bit of a slump, and then White had a bad game for the first time in the playoffs. So this was a night for Jason Tatum to really take the reins. He did not. Am I concerned? Not yet. If I see it happen again, then yes, definitely. But he's a plus 96. He's leading the team in rebounds. He is a defensive menace right now, leading the team in assists. He's drawing a lot of attention deep on offense by the other defense. So I'm going to pump the brakes on concern until they lose another one. This should be a gentleman's sweep. I expected Cleveland's best effort tonight. And I expect the Celtics to take over going on here. They need their butt kicked a little bit. They need to be humbled.
Are the Celtics missing Kristaps Porzingis right now?
When it comes to Porzingis, I mean, he's a big player for them. That's for sure. He changes the layout of how they can play. Tatum and Brown can now do a 2-man game with Porzingis in the middle. He can shoot it. He can dribble. He can dunk. He can defend. He can block shots, all of it. I think he brings a lot, but they shouldn't miss him. This should still be a 5-game series, 6 maximum without Porzingis, because they are that talented. They are a wagon. They went 23-3 without Porzingis on the season. They don't miss him now, but they will miss him when they get out of the East. That is for sure.
I think this game, for me at least, I'm not mad really about this loss in general. This is kind of like how I felt last night with the Bruins, with that stinker that they put up. The playoffs are hard. It takes sometimes 6-7 games to get these things done. You can't just snap your fingers and just magically think that these wins are just going to come in 4 in a row. It's very rare for this to happen. So I think one thing that I'm training myself to get more understanding of is patience. Patience over the long haul to get your team to win in a best-of-7 series. I also echo what Brendan was saying. If I thought the Cavaliers are going to have a game, game 2 was the game that I would probably look at to say that one would, I could see them winning this one. Now the series shifts to Cleveland for Saturday night. That game's at 8:30 tip-off. It's going to be a late night on Saturday. Do the Celtics have to win this game now?
Most definitely, they are going to come out guns a-blazing. I believe the Celtics are going to come out and dominate early and take over. They're a front-running machine that just bulldozes anything in its path. The shots need to fall, that's for sure. That's a big part of what opens up the floor. But I expect them to start inside, expand out, and shoot the ball a lot better. I think they're going to win by over 20 points. I think they're going to dominate.
Yeah, it's going to be the first game in Cleveland. It'll be a different sort of atmosphere than playing here at the Garden. The one thing I want to mention for statistics, I know you were throwing some playoff numbers out there too. The Boston Celtics, since 2019, are 14-14 overall right now at home at the Garden.
Definitely not
that
great.
For a second. Yeah,
that's not a great stat to have. Now that over the last 4 years, you said?
Yep.
So that goes back to that first conference championship they made against the Cavaliers with LeBron. Not great, definitely not. There's been a lot of adversity for them over that time. But yeah, I remember when they made the finals, they were not a good home team. They were a big road warrior team that went into Milwaukee in Game 7 in elimination, and they took it over. Yeah, not great, that's for sure. But this is a season for them to really take the reins on that. I remember they didn't lose a game at home for their first 20 plus games at home. They won 20 straight at home this year. So that's a big initiative for them, is to defend the Garden, play a lot better in there. So yeah, I'm hoping that translates going into the rest of the playoffs.
The thing that is really troublesome is that both with the Bruins and the Celtics at home, it has been shaky grounds. And that has to change. If you are going to win a series, you have to win at home. I don't know what it is. I jokingly have said over the past couple shows that we've done, it's the curse of the black seats, because the Garden went from the traditional classic gold seats and they downgraded to much smaller the black seats that are now inside the arena and everything. It's a much different look. And for whatever reason, ever since those seats have been installed and replaced with these new ones, it has been a house of horrors, and it has to stop.
Yeah, Nick, and I remember the Red Sox went undefeated in 2018 at home on their big run. And this run that the Celtics are on gives me a little bit of remembrance towards 2018 with the Red Sox dominating in the regular season and then just a full machine in the playoffs. They gentlemen swept every single round. I think the Celtics remind me a little bit of that with the Cavs, and in this series, I believe that them losing their legs is going to come up, and it's going to come up fast. That was a big, tough series against the Orlando Magic. They just had a 7-game series against a real brute, physical team in Orlando. Young, but lacking experience, but very physical, very tough. I think Cleveland loses their legs, maybe not in Game 3, but by Game 4, they're going to look a lot slower. And the Celtics are going to be locked in, locomotive, ready to rock.
I'm going to introduce a new segment here before we wrap up our show. Every night when we do our post-game wraps and everything, we're going to do a call-out. Call-out of a player that we feel didn't give their all or needs to produce in their next game that we see. Last night, we didn't call it calling the player out, but I called out Charlie McAvoy on the Bruins. I am calling out Jason Tatum tonight from the Celtics because I'm sick and tired of hearing superstar, glory boy, going to put the team on his back, Mr. Clutch, get it done. Well, sir, you have officially been called out by me. And you know, Brendan, when I call things out, you know what happens. Time will tell on the next show that we'll do with you. Jason Tatum, the floor is yours, my friend.
I think that's a great call out. I will agree. I mean, it reminds me of Montgomery with Pasternak in the last series, that this was an opportunity for Tatum to take over, take the wheel, and he didn't shoot it good enough. So if he's going to ascend, he needs to be the guy that can pick them up when they're down. He can draw attention and all that when they're
Be a
up,
leader.
but he needs to take it over when they're down. So I'll join you on that for sure. My highlight, though, positivity, Luke Cornett was awesome. Cornett, keep it up. He's playing a great role for them without Porzingis in the lineup. Keep it up.
I will echo that statement too. So we have a call out and then our shining star. I think
I like
that's
it.
what we'll go with as we go with these. The shining star of the night, Luke Cornett. Call out, Jason Tatum.
Get it
That
going.
does not
kid.
mean call out of school. That does not mean that. You are not allowed to do that. You are only allowed to produce. The floor is yours. You have been called out. Time to step up, lead the team to a victory, get it done, and shut me up.
The ball is
There
in
it
your
is.
court.
We will see you again soon. We hope everybody enjoyed chatting Celts tonight. We will chat Bruins and Sox tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.